Just say it. Say what you're trying to say. You're saying that there's people at the top, decision makers, who aren't actually passionate about it.
Exactly.
They're making
That's all it
wrong
is.
decisions.
Yeah.
And those decisions don't reflect us.
Exactly.
They made their shit famous. Yeah, they made it, but we made it famous.
They put Halo on Paramount and said, "Hey nerds, come watch this."
Right.
It's
Come
Halo.
watch this, nerds.
And then we
You'll love it.
and then we watch it. And we're like, "Hey, it's not the same." And then the actor's like, "Look, I don't get paid for you guys to see the Master Chief helmet. I get paid for you guys to see my face because a helmet can't emote." You know. And that,
I'm sorry, I was
missing
on that. I was missing on all the money I was counting that you watched it anyway.
Exactly. See, Sonic was a perfect example. If they released Sonic as is, that joint would have flopped.
I still believe that they had the render correct, and they just did that for rage bait. Just like,
I don't think so.
It's like you can't.
They tried it. I think they actually were like, "This is what it's going to be," and then people were like, "Nah."
They messed up. Because they wouldn't have delayed it that long. I don't think they would have delayed it that long to try to fix it. And now look, we've got a whole trilogy. I can't wait for the next one.
I can't wait. I can't wait for the fourth one. Yeah.
Man, what? But
I still have gripes about 3 and Shadow Story. But,
oh yeah, I agree. But I was still here. I still thought it was fun.
Shout out to Amy.
Yeah.
Shout out to Amy.
And then one last thing, I guess we're pretty much done for. We talked about everything else really on the list.
We got hella episodes on all this for.
I didn't talk about Stories 3, but I'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
So about Star Wars. No, I'm just like.
Shout out. We'll say on the end. Shout out to creators. I think we probably not maybe try to do this often, but just shout out to the Comic Shop and shout out to Checkpoint the Show. Shout out to 8-Bit Closed Fist.
I watch that shit every week. They Comic Shop, like it's basically like a mockumentary series, whatever. But it's just nerddom at that point. Like I love the show. It's a great show. So Shine, if you watch this, whatever, like you did a good job with that show and everything. And I like how like it's one episode about D&D and stuff like that. And she was like, I think she said something like, there are nerds. And then there are D&D nerds. I'm like, then that couldn't be even more of a true statement right there, because there's definitely a split in between the two and shit like that. But yeah, the show is good.
And you can be a geek of anything if you go far enough.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You can be. Yeah. One thing I think I've learned, and I think that statement really makes a lot of sense, because once you go, like especially as we get older, you know what I'm saying? Like we've been around the block. Like, we can say this now. We've been around. We've been around gaming for 30 plus years. We've been around gaming.
Yes.
So like we could very well be, fans of, like somebody could say, "Oh, I'm a fan of, Time Splitters like crazy. Like I've played the shit out of that. I know the lore. I've read everything there is to read about it. Like I know everything about it." And they could passionately walk you up and down the story. That's not me. But like when you see that, you'll be like, "Oh, that's tight. Like that's a fan." You know what I'm saying? So like you can people have these things. Now they're like free to celebrate them and talk about them. And yeah, I mean D&D is big time, and it's obviously bled into all types of other things too.
Mm-hmm.
And there are so many varying types of nerds. I mean, I had to understand that the movie nerd is a thing too. Like
definitely
the
cinematic nerd,
right? Like I haven't read the comic books, but I am a nerd of the film shows and all that stuff. Like
they know all the lores of the film.
There's sports nerds. There's sports nerds too.
Exactly.
There's sports nerds.
Well, so I was gonna say, sports nerds. That was like a hidden culture for years. Sports nerd culture.
Was it?
Like, yeah, it was. Honestly, sports.
Not being a fan of the team, but like knowing all the stats.
Yeah,
and
like all the stats, knowing everything, even the meme. Sports, and I don't have a stat to back this up, but sports memes were some of the earliest memes. Like there were sports memes came, and before memeing was hot. And one of my buddies had to put me on years ago. Like before I knew what memes were, before memes were hot, there were lots of sports memes and pages and like places that were putting out sports memes, but they didn't go anywhere. They weren't put on the news or anything. It was just something that was funny for like internet communities.
Right.
But like there's a lot there, and I think the graduation of it is why we're at the point now. I mean, I know we can always talk about it because I think we're bigger sports fans, I would say, relative to, Noob and Frosty. But I mean, I could have that wrong. But like nowadays,
no, you're right.
There's like animosity from like players to like nerd media. Everybody's like, oh, what were the stats? What's this? What's that?
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Okay, I see what you're talking about.
Like, but that culture's been like festering for years, and now it's like.
Go into your local barbershop and ask who's to go, LeBron or Michael. You're gonna see a whole bunch of sportsmen going off to their mouth.
Hey, they all go, but you're gonna see the difference too. You're gonna see the people who are emotional about it.
Yep.
just like with gamers and film people, the emotional people, and they're gonna be like, oh, well, you weren't there when Wilt Chamberlain did this, and that.
Yeah.
I'll be like, bro. Cause Wilt Chamberlain hit free throws. You know, and I say, then people would say, oh, well, what about Shaq or Hakeem, blah, blah, blah. I'd be like, you trust him to take the ball up and down the floor? Like, people will start, okay, I'm going to poke holes and all this stuff. Okay, well, then they say, oh, who's the most complete player? Oh, this person. And then what about this? What about that? Oh, what about is it more important?
You could take that, you could take that from sports to games to films. You could take that anywhere.
Exactly.
I mean, like, we just said it earlier with, like, what did you think the best, what was it? Because I had
the best gaming intro.
Yeah, we had best gaming intro, and then we also had best
best
stories
out of the Visions like Visions
well,
catalog. What we thought
exactly because then because that's what always happens. And we can nerd out about this and we appreciate it. We do it with anime all the time too, especially who's stronger, who's better, and what's this and what's that, what's the power scale like, and right? Can they beat Goku? What's the answer? No. It's the same thing. It's the same thing because it's true. It's true. every person. Here's the thing. I say the same thing with Kratos. Every person who comes up against them loses. Like everybody who Kratos comes up against, who is like,
yes, even if he loses the first time, he's not going to win the war. Yeah.
Kratos wins. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know why? Because the player has to win.
Well, yes, but that's the thing. If you take as much lore as you possibly can, you're like, okay, what feasibly might happen? Is it more feasible that Kratos loses? Generally speaking, who kills? What would kill Kratos? That because we've seen him. But that's the thing. Like, there's Superman killed Goku. Like, I can very easily see a world where Goku also beats him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could see that.
It's all about the writing.
Right.
So it's just like...
It's the writing.
I could very well see those things. Like, oh, you telling me that it's not fathomable for Vegeta to do that same bomb he did to Fat Boo to do it to Superman and it wouldn't work? Like,
not vaporize him? Because like, Superman has survived the sun. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Superman's been in the sun.
Well, I always say we got to compare the ups and we got to compare the bottoms. Like, what's the weakest thing we've seen Superman be damaged by? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is
Kryptonite Knight?
You know what I'm saying? What is the weakest thing we've seen hurt Superman?
Was it DC Universe Online where Lex Luthor stabbed him with a kryptonite spear and killed him? You know,
what is the weekest thing that we have seen hurt King Vegeta? You know what I'm saying? Not Prince Vegeta, King Vegeta. What's the weakest thing we've seen?
Frieza's death ball. No. Sorry, Frieza. Sorry, Frieza's kicking him in the jaw.
Right. Frieza, right? Who remember, the weakest Z fighter.
I see where you're coming from.
Could go like this and destroy the strength machine. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Like, that's the scale is different.
I would be curious about what was where King Vegeta would have sat scale wise, but he lost to Frieza Form 1 easily, and that's where the Z fighters would pass that.
To Frieza Form 1
back then. Remember they weren't that nice back then. Goku and Vegeta came.
Frieza, I want to say Form 1 Frieza. Form 1 Frieza was 500,000, right? 500,000 power level.
So his second form double. You know what?
Yes.
You know what? The other point I'll touch on is Checkpoint the Show. Shout out to
8-Bit and Lex.
8-Bit and Lex in their show, bringing back like the essence of G4 and
for the most part,
holding games to task.
Cause I watch that every time I get to, like, every time I see it on YouTube feed, it's like, clicking it. Like, they do a good job with that. You know what I'm saying? So, like, shout out to Checkpoint too. You know what I mean? Like,
and we'll definitely be looking maybe to, see what's up with them. See what's going on with being on episodes. But anyway,